Welcome to online tutorial 5, and this one is being complemented by a couple of other videos. You'll see below this video that you've got the completing the interim learning report. That really just breaks down the structures and the required focus areas that are actually occurring in that interim learning report. And that's also supported by the steps model video, which I've also made available beneath that one. So those two videos were important in terms of putting together the right focus and the right process throughout the report. What I wanted to focus on in this tutorial is making sure that you're in the right mindset to complete the task, okay? And that you understand the nature of the challenge. For many of you, leaving on Saturday, you would have been feeling a bit apprehensive, a little bit like, okay, still not 100% sure what it actually is we need to do. And that's pretty normal. And that would be almost to be expected. So I'm asking you to do something that in a lot of ways you may not have done before. Participate in a group in a non-assessed way, right? And so for many of you, it's like, what's the point then? Why am I doing the group work? The reason we're doing the group work, or the group interaction is mostly a better term, is because I don't want you to trust the initial thinking that you have. It may be right, it may also be not right. So I want you to bring along your own thinking, put it into the mix, have a conversation about it, see if your understanding of those concepts is where it needs to be, all right? So what I want to do today is just sort of assume I'm you, put on that approach that would need to be taken. You're in a group, all right? If you're not in a group, that's another story altogether. You've got to get yourself into a group, okay? So if you're not in a group, get to Facebook, get to the Facebook group and start talking to people and asking people. By the end of this week, I'll be having that conversation with people who are not in a group, and we just need to get you into a group, okay? Let's put that to one side though. Assuming you're in a group. Go along to your meeting with a really open mind. And by that, I mean maybe you like to take control. Maybe you tend to allow other people to take control. Reverse that around, right? You can play around. You can be very mindful, very aware of the nature of your interaction. Take it as an opportunity to use the first half of your meeting to get to know the other people. How are they the same? How are they different? What are their interests? Once you've got that sort of sense of, okay, we all understand who's in the room, start to explore the nature of the resource profile capitals that you have. Who is it that you guys know of any interest, vaguely interested to the things that you're connected to? Don't have to have an idea just yet. Who do you know who is influential in business, in any aspect of life? Start throwing those names around. Just put them on the table, right? It could be your parents. It could be other people you work with. It could be whoever, right? Having worked out who you are, who you know, what those people might know and what you know, what's a common area of interest that you guys might like to focus your idea on? So typically what we're looking for is you to think about something that you have a bit of passion for, all right? In a perfect world, the group has a passion for something and you stay focused on that for the semester. It makes it much easier, right? Never easy to do something that, everyone really doesn't have any great interest in, right? So you've got an idea and you're asking the question, or you've got a passion space maybe, and the issue is, how could you create some new value in that space, all right? You're solving a problem, you're addressing an opportunity you perceive. What actually is it that you guys think you could do to create some new value for an end user? Might be for a customer who's paying, might be for somebody who's going to benefit from something you're going to do in society, all right? So having discovered that, right, that there's this area that you're interested in that you could focus on, and it might be, how are we going to create some new value for travelers, for local people, for people who only like vegan food, or whatever it might be, right? Then come back and start thinking, okay, if the people in this room, our team, our group, if we were going to take this forward, what type of resource profile do we have? So you can start to consider, well, we know these people, and those people know these things, we could rely on them. So you're starting to develop a sense in this first meeting of where you sit with your resource profile. You can move it on now to also start thinking about the extent to which you perceive there to be cognitive legitimacy. Everyone else knows what it actually is you would be talking about. And socio-political legitimacy. So everybody, the key stakeholders, they would approve of what it actually is you're attempting to do. Okay? Now, your idea may not have those, all right? That's okay, but you need to explain to me the consequences of that not being present, that legitimacy, okay? That'd be where I'd get to in my first meeting. I'd most probably pull up stumps around about that time, all right? You've got to know each other, got a bit of a sense of what you're connected to. You found an idea that makes idea space and an idea related to value, creating new value in and around that, and you've considered how you as a team would take this idea forward, and you've considered the nature of legitimacy that will relate to it. Unless we disappear after that, and allow each of the group members to have a think about the process of variation, selection, and retention that they would see around this idea. So what's similar variations, and it could be in a parallel industry, right? Because it could be something that's quite similar in development. You might want to develop an app for X, and you know other apps would develop for Y. And you're thinking about, well, why were those apps successful or unsuccessful, right? So it's really important to have a really good handle on this part of the process. How do you make sense of the nature of that environment by understanding other variations, their success or failure, why that was occurred, and what sort of retention mechanisms may or may not be in place, all right? Then you can flow on to think about, well, how's this value going to be created? Is it value chain, converting lower quality inputs into higher quality outputs? Is it value shop, using the resources of your assumed organisation to solve problems for different people in different ways? Value networks, where you're drawing on the internet and other community-based groupings to enable you to tap into that value process, and or combinations of any of those three things. And what factors in the operational environment, the selective factors that you would assume would work directly against the nature of your idea, and the ecological factors that might be there to support the development of your idea. So that's when it'll be time to head back to the second meeting with your group, right? You can have 10 meetings, but I think you could do this in 2, right? If you're organised. When you get back to that meeting, then you can all put in your own thoughts, right? I think variation, selection, retention looks a bit like this. I think value creation looks a bit like this. I think the operational environment looks a bit like this, right? Share those views. Allow your views. There's no right answer here, right? So we're not looking for a competition about who's right and who's wrong. Embrace the different viewpoints that people have. Understand why they may view this different than you do. And then you can walk away from the meeting and you can contemplate. Well, as a group, we've decided to come along and present in this direction. We're going to present at the next workshop. Here's our idea. This is how we think. This is who it's going to benefit. This is the problem or opportunity we're solving. And this is how we think we could create the value. So you agree on what you're going to present in the classroom, but what you then go away and write up is entirely up to you, right? So you might be writing, well, while we thought as a group on the whole this, I actually think more like that, right? So you can take that, or you can say, no, we actually all tended to agree with this, but you write it up your way. Don't fall into the trap of asking to see someone else's work and so that you can make it easier for you to write the process, because turn it in is just going to be all over you, right? And you don't need to go there, all right? So just write up your version of how that is, and at the end of it, and you'll have created some notes during your meetings using the canvas, the business canvas that are on Blackboard for you to download. And when you leave that second meeting, everyone can just take a picture of that, or if someone might type it up and you send it out and then take a picture, Don't cut and paste it. It'll include in word counts. It'll be compared across Turnitin. It just makes a mess of everything. Just take a picture of it and embed that picture into below the bottom of section 1, but before section 2. And when you get to the bottom of having done section 1, so you've told me your idea, you've told me how your group came to develop this idea relative to your resource profile, you've told me about legitimacy and how that relates to the process of variation, selection, retention, how you think that how that's going to roll through in terms of the value creation and capture process, and you've told me what factors you think are important in terms of ecological factors that are supportive and selective factors that are working against you. Then summarize at the bottom your CPS statement, or COS if it's an opportunity-based thing rather than a problem. Give me the CPS statement. It's 3 or 4 sentences. It's very concise. It's not a repeat of what you've just said above. It's you taking the key highlights, the key factors that relate to selection, that relate to the process of variation selection, that relate to the process of value creation, that relate to the nature of your unique resource profile, and giving me that nice, concise little statement. We see these people or this opportunity as being able to be addressed in this particular way so that that value can be created and captured like this. Short statement at the end. Okay? That's the essence of it. But it all starts with you heading along to your meeting, keeping a really open mind, being interested in the other people in the room. How are they different than you? How might they be the same as you? What does that mean in terms of your thinking being challenged? If everyone turns up and you all agree with each other, it's going to be hard for you to tell me how this idea really developed. You just say, well, it was just there on the shelf, we picked it up and we've got it. I'd much rather say we had all these various different things, but we came to this, right? Collectively, we look like this, all right? So you've got all the resources you need. You've got a guide, you've got the task instructions, right? You've got the guide that builds on those, that's sitting in the assessments area. You've got the STEPS model video. You've got the other video, which is just an outline of completing the interim learning report, which is in the online tutorial area. And you've got some examples of what I would expect your reflections to look like. Remember, the why, whether it's red or just bold, is definitely going to be present in each paragraph as you work your way through it, okay? Because if you don't put it in, I don't know when you've stopped to say, why do I think or feel what I just said? And then you put it again at the next sentence, and again you're going to repeat that process, okay? So, good luck. Any questions? Just give us a call, drop me an email. I'm sure we can work through them. All the best.